I don't know. I don't even know if he has his gear on him.
That's true.
Right? Like, I actually have no idea what the situation looks like here.
And he's also been playing, like, obviously when he was on Quincy crew before, he was playing safe lane. He wasn't playing mid, so who knows how practiced he is in the mid lane. Maybe he's going to be a little rusty. We'll have to see what happens.
What lineup do you like better, Cap? Let's hear your thoughts first.
Oh, well, you're asking me my thoughts first?
I can give my thoughts first for once, and then you can try to follow up.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually my play, is that you say the smart things, and then I'm like, oh.
I think that Quincy crew have a much better lineup.
Uh-huh.
I think that Gambit is the better team, but I actually think that this troll is going to have a very free game. Like, I think they have a lot of lockdown. They have good team fight. They have good catch. They have tower taking ability. They have Roche. Like, I feel like Gambit have to like run over the lanes, and I don't even know if they have that many like winning lane setups. Like,
okay.
I think Kunkka does great against Ember mid. I think that Troll is like one of the better heroes against Legion too. Like, I feel pretty good about this right now. If I were Quincy crew.
They do have, one of the things that surprised me is that we're going to watch the fight over the bounty runes here, and Quincy crew will manage to grab 3, actually, is in the bottom lane. They're going to get some extra damage onto Shotchlow as well, who's going to level up his press the attack to remove the dual breath. They're talking about that extensively on the panel, and how these heroes like Legion Commander and Abaddon are okay against Jakiro. They're able to offset the incredible amount of damage that dual breath does because they do have a purge ability, but Jakiro is still an incredible laning 5 position. And I always hate playing against Troll when I'm Legion Commander.
Yeah, every Legion Commander hates playing against Troll, because when you duel him, you're just helping him get stacks. It's really what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you can't really kill him ever. The control against him isn't very nice. It's not like the type of stun that you like, ideally, as an offlaner. He just has a lot of harass tools and ways to kill you in the lane too.
Yeah, he makes your laning phase really tough. As we see him being chased down, gets hit by the range axes, immediately has to press the attack to remove it off, and that's going to be one of the problems here. Is there's just too many things. So there's going to be running at Shotchlow, dealing problems. That is why FNG goes for the pull like this. We have the mid lane matchup of the Kunkka versus Ember Spirit, which I do believe is Kunkka favored Blitz Dota.
You would be completely correct, just because it's really hard for. Honestly, it's hard for like every hero to deal with this. Like,
yeah.
It's so annoying. Like, the only hero that does really well in this matchup would be, I'd say, like OD, because OD has his own harass mechanic back, and eventually, because Kunkka has such a bad mana pool, you just like hit him twice with the Arcane Orb, and all of a sudden, like, you don't have to deal with the hero very hard. But the splash is so nice against Ember. He doesn't really have his own sustain mechanic. Plus, like, it's hard for you to ever kill the Kunkka. He's so tanky naturally in lane.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at how bullshit this is. This hero has 920 HP at 2 minutes into the game. Like, who decided that that was going to be a thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got 5 extra strength, to be
okay,
fair.
Cool. Cool.
You sound real okay with this. I think, like, I feel like whenever I'm watching mid Kunkkas, it's like playing mid on easy mode. You know? Like, you just can't really do anything wrong as this Kunkka, because all you have to do is hit creeps with Tidebringer.
Yeah. You're almost never going to miss CS. You're going to trade pretty favorably against everybody. Like, it just feels good to play this hero. Because with 2 bracers, all of a sudden you pretty much have like what most heroes like would covet in terms
Top
of
lane,
HP.
MSS being run down. The combination of Soul Rip plus the Rocket Barrage, not quite enough to finish him up, but they have to deal with the Rocket, kill the missile, and MSS will survive unless Vampire...
Oh, the miss!
He's going to get first blood missed, and now Vampire's going to die. MSS turns around and claims first blood.
That was good teamwork. And this is...
Oh, mid lane does manage to get the X pullback here. Another swing of the Tidebringers coming up too, so GBK could have dropped very low. That was actually lower than I expected.
Yeah, you saw what they did too. He glyphs the wave so the Ember feels like he has to stay like for an extra second. And let me say, this matchup is like one of the best against Gyro. Centaur against Gyro, you just have so much base damage.
Yeah.
It's really easy for you to deny, and...
You're tanky enough that you're not threatened by a lot of the... Like, a lot of heroes are forced to run away from the homing missile, but Centaur's like, Great. I'll stay inside the creep wave so you can't rocket barrage me.
I'm super excited, by the way, about this mid matchup. Not to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Like GPK versus Sumail. Like one star versus like an up and comer.
Yeah.
GPK of course would like him to pass over that torch. FNG probably gonna go down here. In fact, does.
I always feel like you know, Sumail has like a lot of pride in himself as a player, and I feel like he's never gonna give you those free wins. You know, he's like, I may be the old dog here, and you may be the new up and comer like I once was, but there are no free wins in this situation.
There are no free wins.
You have to prove that you can step to the king. 2-0, 1,000 net worth lead for Quincy Cruz. They are walking away with the laning phase advantage, as we talked about early on.
There's only one king that I recognize.
Analysis.
That's Snake King.
He's the only true king.
He's the real king.
Well, we'll have to see how Fighting Pandas does.
I mean, it doesn't matter how they do. He's the...
I don't know, man. You can't really be a king and be losing all your conquests, you know? You're not much of a king at that point. Shots, though. You can see him. Feeling the burn, but he has actually done better in this lane than I expected, because he's actually almost evened up. 1CS SVG will intercept the bounty rune with a good ice path. That is going to be a problem later on, is the Jakiro in lane. You can kind of deal with him, but when you start going for those dual targets, it's easy ice path and macro pyres all over the place. That's also going to be a problem for Ember Spirit as well. GBK is going to have to be careful of his Sleight of Fist, because that just kind of sets up an ice path.
Yeah, I mean, that's the scary part, right? Is that's why you need your laning phase to go really well.
Yeah.
If you're on the side of Gambit, which I think their laning phase is going like reasonably well, I'd say.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to like, I kind of need Dream if I'm on Gambit to make the first rotations of the game.
Oh, Telekinesis at the top lane, toss back into the hoof stomp. Saberlight, though, did have the homing missile placed onto him. Dream doing a good job protecting himself before the combo was laid off.
Like, I wonder if Dream... Actually, maybe what ends up happening is like Dream goes to bottom, then they rotate the Ember Spirit down, like based on... It really just depends on the runes, which is why SVG is being so active, by the way, about getting them. Because I think this is pretty big.
Oh, well played by SVG, dodging that Inkswell stun. Tries to go for the kill onto FNG. GBK is trying to run him down, and FNG actually be given bottle hits. Really well done by this Ember Spear top lane. Saberlight does manage to get a stun onto Dream. You know, we haven't actually talked about the stand-in Saberlight. We talked about, obviously, Sumail, because that was the recent bit of news. But Saberlight also standing in for Quincy Crew while they are down a member. What do you think of this guy?
I mean, were they one series away from qualifying for the minor?
Yeah, something like that. They're real close on that.
So it wasn't even like his team was bad or anything like that. Just maybe found a better opportunity. And I mean, this is how hopefully like the scene grows, right? You give players like this more and more opportunities to get better, and give them line experience. More importantly, like nothing really beats line experience. Like you can be online gamers, but you know you can also just be like random Demon Slayer teams where you just randomly decide to own at the right moments. As the first rotation of the game, GPK is going to come up to this top lane. Doesn't have the chains. Nice dodge, though.
Because you have Inkswell, and will be able to get on top of Saberlight enough to be able to finish him off. The boat's kind of come in. GBK doesn't really need to dodge it. He's got plenty of backup here. Bottom lane. Some damage coming out. Shanchlo trying to drag the creep wave away. You are trying to punish him. Does not manage to get an ensnare there. I think he was really hoping in those 2 hits he was finally going to get it disabled, but...
Yeah,
no
I do like
luck.
the map movement so far. I would have liked to see it towards bottom lane, because I feel like you want to try to shut down this troll, but I guess without the chains anyways, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Top lane, it works because he dodges the stun. It was very well done by GPK. And the move is even better because the Kunkka was forced to rotate up to top 2.
So why? I want to go back to it. Why were you so excited to see this mid lane matchup? Have you heard good things about GPK? Do you hold him in high regard as a mid laner?
Yeah, I think GPK was like an absolute beast. When Liquid scrimmed against... For the major, obviously, you don't want to play against other European teams, right? So you just naturally gravitate towards CIS teams.
Yeah.
And he almost always seemed to have a good game. Like, personally, we thought that Gambit was the best team in the CIS quals. I think I echoed that sentiment to you today, too, before the game started.
Yeah.
Like, they make good rotations around the map. I feel like FNG is like a very, very good captain. He understands how map movement is supposed to work. His players are almost always in the right spots.
Feels like a little bit like PPD in that regard, in that his teams always seem to have a strong direction.
Yeah, exactly. I'm impressed by that. Because that usually means that like all your players trust you.
Yeah, they buy into the vision that you're selling.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can always tell, oh, this is an F&G team.
Yeah.
Like he sort of puts his stamp on it.
Boat coming in. Vampire going to take a lot of damage here. Low armor hero does take a wealth of physical damage from the Tidebringer hit. Sumail not quite enough to finish it up.
Yep.
And backs up. Still top CS board and top net worth as well for Sumail.
Oh, look at this rotation. So we talked about how we wanted to see, or I wanted to see, this gyrocopter move towards bottom lane.
Yeah.
But they've just sort of switched it out. So when you make this maneuver, the ideal situation is this, where simply you mirror it. Whatever Dire are doing, you mirror it, and you try to make a move towards mid.
And if you can make the more efficient move, right?
Yeah.
Less heroes you need to be able to take the tower that you're mirroring on, then you can make a play like in mid. Unfortunately, they don't get the kill on Ember, but it was a good attempt.
Yeah, exactly. Completely agree with your assessment there, as they're going to be protecting each other in this top area. They do see...
Small little stack. Take that one away. In fact, let's stack it up one more time. No. You are the carry player at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you can't expect them to know
know
pull times.
Don't got that Dodo Plus.
Yeah.
That's a free one.
Gotta invest in yourself, dude. But yes, the Ember Spirit is top net worth right now, followed up very closely by the Troll and Kunkka. All things considered, though, this is a very even game. Even towers, mirrored moves, and no one really coming out on top of the laning phase. But we did start at the start of this whole entire thing, right? This draft is going to be heavily snowball oriented for Gambit, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to do well in the lanes, but if you can't like win the lanes, you need to hit hard in this early mid game point.
Their 5-man is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
They have this Legion who just buffs up, backs up heroes very well. Ember Spirit has probably the best, like, what's really annoying about Poke, let me say about Ember, it's not just the reach. I think people talk about that a lot, but it's the fact that when you hit people enough with Ember, like you get 2 or 3 sleight of fists, it forces a reaction out of the enemy one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
They either have to completely back up, or you force them to just like headlong rush into you. It's not just about having like the initiation potential. It's about the fact that like the hero just kind of forces the issue at all times, which is like the best part about him.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing about Kunkka, though, right? Is that like this 5-man into towers, so they're going to try and stampede to run somebody down. Feels like they must have seen something on the map. Maybe it was like the Ember Spirit showing mid, but they immediately were like, we could take this fight. We are outnumbering them. Tried to hit the stomp.
Oh, that's like the third time they got for that.
Look at that. He's actually going to try and run down this Rubik. MSS taking so much damage from the DD. That sleight of fist, not quite enough to finish him off as the Flame Guard stolen by MSS, protecting him from all that magic damage. It was a cool little list of plays there. Both GBK and MSS played that really well.
It's going to end up with MSS still doing okay, though. I mean, he's really farmed for Rubik.
Yeah.
I was talking to Purge about this backstage, about like how when you play Rubik, you want to last hit as many kills as you possibly can. Like you want this hero to really be a threat in the game, because he doesn't really have the best, like his skill set by itself without items is kind of meh.
Yeah.
But like once you get items, everything is enabled. Your initiation range just becomes suddenly like infinite once you get blinks and forces. You just get like tankier and tankier as well. Yeah, the option of being able to like stand in the middle of fights and like steal abilities is such a big deal.
No, nobody really cares about the 5 Rubik that, yeah, he stole a spell, but he also got one shot.
Yeah, he has like 800 HP. Congrats.
Yeah.
And this
especially
move,
since they took away the magic resistance, making him even squishier.
You don't, I'm not in love with this move just because I feel like you can't really, you're not happy with whoever you find in the jungle here.
Yeah.
Personally, like you find Sumail, he'll get bowed off. And if you look at their lineup, like their burst damage isn't really there. It's like they're, without the Ember anyways, it's like their ability to just like sustain throughout a team fight. Like the longer a team fight goes, this lineup is going to be very annoying.
So this kind of fits into the narrative of Gambit feel like they need to be able to make a fight happen, but it seems like Quincy Crew's also reading that
and kind of positioning appropriately, making sure they just run into frustrating heroes to try and gank.
Yeah, who was it? Was it BSJ? He was like, one team is okay with nothing happening on the map. And like one team,
Nice leash there, onto 2. Can they actually do this though? Shotshot's gonna try and run in and get the duel, but the stolen leash comes out from MSS, but he does manage to get the duel off finally, but an ice path lines everything up, but the Ember Spirit is here to be able to make sure both Quincy Crew supports fall, and the rest of Quincy Crew chased away. Finally, Gambit do get the fight they were looking for.
yeah, and it comes on the heels of like Quincy Crew getting way too over-aggressive.
Yeah.
They just wanted a little bit too much there. But I think it was BSJ that said, like, in a Dota game, like, one team's okay with nothing happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably Quincy Crew, realistically. Like, I think if both sides are just farming up, this Troll, this Kunkka, this Centaur probably feels a little bit more comfortable. We'll see, though. I'm putting a lot on the Troll, personally.
You're putting so much on the Troll, but this is not a carry that we've seen a whole lot of lately. Why is that?
I think it's because a lot of the other cores that are, like, good against it are so meta. Like Bloodseeker, for example, just like Rupture and then
Yeah, OD.
you chill, OD. Faceless Void feels really good against the hero too.
Yeah.
You just blow him up before he can get his ulti off. Like the hero feels really good when you always have a guaranteed way to get your ultimate off.
Trying to protect it with the ice path. SVG grabs it. Now can he get out? Shotchlo running fast with the face boots. GBK, he should be fine. It's SVG who's in trouble, but here comes the rescue TPs, an ice path, and now the hunted becomes the hunter. SVG turns around, does manage to grab Shotchlo long enough for the rest of his team to join in. The Ember Spirit stolen remnants from the Rubik, does manage to finish off that kill, and they got the Undying, and they got the Grimstroke. That was just perfect for Quincy Crew.
Yeah, that was way too... The chase was just too long.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that it took so long for Gambit to reverse their positioning. Like, Quincy Crew were quite obviously going to help out. Like, Jakiro's such a nice hero to counter-initiate for, just because he's got... Like, look at him. No stat items. Literally no stat items. He's got 1,100 health. What is that?
Plus the raindrop making you more like 1,300.
Yeah, meanwhile, CM's rocking like a casual like 600 with like 4 bracers.
Yeah, this...
Defend this hero cap.
I was talking about this earlier. This 5-position Jakiro looks real fun to play.
Yeah, because you just... the fun part about it is like the 5 supports that suck to play are the ones that you never get your abilities off, or as soon as you step forward and you're like, oh, well, I guess I was like within 900 range of another hero and I got stunned and died.
Yeah.
But like Jakiro's not like that.
That's how FNG feels against this Kunkka right now. GBK making cheeky little moves, cuts one of the creep waves at bottom, then takes a few neutrals away from Quincy Crew in their own jungle.
GPK is playing very well.
Yeah.
He's taking the unsafe farm. Like he's always the one sitting mid. It's never the Legion, and it's making their game a lot better as a result. It's like he's taking a lot of the unsafe farm. He's just kind of relying on his mechanical skill. He's like, oh well, I'll just I'll figure it out. I get X'd, I'll be all right.
Be as tanky as you want, SVG, but you will not survive Dream's gyrocopter.
Yeah, Shotchlo is like, please.
Any duels?
Just one duel.
Any duels
Any fans
here?
of duels?
Any duel damages? Ether Lens already for MSS's Rubik.
Oh, this is not the duel damage. This is not the duel damage.
Sir, please.
Maybe mid, though.
Oh, maybe. Samael threatens the Torrent. Still has the boat, though. And Telekinesis will buy the distance needed. But still, Quincy Crew just making this very difficult for Gambit to find the fights they really want. Every single time they're kind of lured in, but aren't able to get the clean initiation. And as a result, they just don't have a way to take that tower. And if they can't take that tower, they can't start snowballing with their lineup.
Yeah, and you see that GPK continues to take like the unsafe farm. I mean, this guy just cut behind the creep wave.
Yeah.
I think part of that is because he thinks that the support duo isn't really a threat to him, which he'd be completely correct on. Like, even if they were to catch him, like, do they deal enough damage to Kiro Rubik? No.
Yeah, no.
So he's got to sort of press his luck here. Like, nope.
Oh, that's going to break the smoke onto the Rubik and Slight. Okay, he's going to jump over to his remnant. He actually gets caught by the telekinesis into the hoof stomp. Uh-oh! He relied on his mechanical skill, but he slipped up Blitz.
Yeah, and he also threw that remnant like way too close to him. I mean, I appreciate
he just
the move,
happened
though.
to throw it into the 4-man smoke. What you gonna do?
Yeah, what he's trying to do right now is keep the pressure away from his middle tower because Quincy crew what they want to do is take that tower. Oh, that's rough.
There's no worse feeling than smoking up and having it immediately break.
Oof. Because when you have troll in a game like this, you want to rush.
Yeah.
And Gambit are doing a really good job. Credit to them of keeping it alive. But I still feel like they're on the back foot. Like as the game progresses, they should be behind here.
You can see that troll just farming up the top lane while Quincy crew threaten mid. Big difference between these two. Centaur has a way just to be able to chip away at that mid tower. Gambit do not have a hero that hits towers very well. Legion, Ember, Gyro.
Yeah.
Especially a Legion who's not getting any dual
That
damage.
is the team fight. That is like the team fight on team fight cores, though.
Yeah.
Like the entire point of this like tri-core is you're supposed to win fights.
I think that like that's the for me. I liked Quincy Crew's lineup mostly because of the Kunkka. Surprisingly, even though that was like first pick, because any of these like really heavy 5-man like just pure team fight lineups, I think they just hate playing against Kunkka. You know, like the boat's really terrible. You have this initiation that's sometimes forced upon you. It feels like you have to like you either overcommit or undercommit against the Kunkka. You know. Like, you just see it right now. That he's just constantly frustrated by the fact that this Kunkka is always kind of like blowing up creep waves, but he's too hard to really initiate on. If they do, and he gets bowed off, and the rest of the Quincy crew comes in, that could be a bad team fight.
Yeah. I will say, by the way, just because you feel like comfortable with nothing happening in the game, you still want to do things like take the mid tower. It doesn't mean that like you're devoid of like making any sort of plays whatsoever. It just means that if you're denied that opportunity, you don't feel too bad. But you still want to do things like take this mid tower, get into Roshan pit, force Gambit to come into you, get boated.
Yeah. And you got to take advantage of your timings, and they've got a beautiful one here with the Radiance on Sumail.
Yeah, but Gambit also have a similar timing.
What do they got?
They just got the Ags completed.
Okay. Ags
And
on
this smoke,
Gyrocopter.
by the way, is the most obvious thing in the world because no one is defending bottom. Like, no one's defending bottom, but they're also not showing anywhere on the map. That's why GPK, for once, is not making that, like, ultra-aggressive play towards mid. Is because that bottom play makes this one really obvious. But Quincy crew, I don't think really care too much.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't that fine?
Yeah,
you
because
smoked and you got mid tower.
Yeah, you got mid tower, and you're probably gonna get top tower. And now, what ends up happening is, if you get one ward down near the Roshan pit, by the shrine, it makes it really hard for them to contest this Roshan.
Yeah.
So you get one ward on the pit, and hopefully you have like one eventually like near the hill.
That, I mean, that's ward's the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're seeing shrine TPs and you're seeing the rotations from mid into that.
So what
high
needs to
ground.
happen right now is somebody needs to be down here with FNG. Like, this move is actually too late. Instead of farming these neutrals right here, I'd like GPK to just like come down and hit the tower. Like, you want to trade here. Both of these cores jungling, I feel like is not it. Maybe I don't think it can be.
I think they're
Dream.
both thinking to themselves like, I'm not the tower hitter.
The problem is like Dream can't really go down there because he doesn't have BKB, so like if he gets X, he just dies.
Right.
But I actually think it's GPK's responsibility to come down here, skip the wave, hit the tower. Because now what ends up happening is you traded a tier 2 tower for nothing. And like he makes this move down here now, but it just feels a lot later. And during this time, they could have just been roshing.
Yeah.
Like you're losing info. Like this is a free tower in my opinion. So GPK is finally going to take it. It can't be Dream because we outlined he doesn't have BKB, so he doesn't feel comfortable being down here. But that felt like an over min-max or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It doesn't really get punished.
I'd like to
Quincy Crew
see-
didn't do much with that time.
Do they have another smoke? I'd be down to see them just smoke into the enemy jungle again on the side of Quincy crew.
Okay.
Like get control of your own jungle again, scout, root it out, and then just go smoke. Totally be down for that. Somebody does have to push out bottom, but that's why Sumail's X'd up. You let him come back in, and then you just draw the line straight into the jungle. And then if you win this fight, you go and Rosh. You show your war mid so that they think, oh, well, they're just clearing out their own jungle and farming. But what should alert Gambit to this move is that no one is showed towards this bottom lane, And so this is going to be a bit awkward. He's going to get the jump.
They're going to be able to get the torrent into the stomp, but it's going to be enough to blow up Shotslow. Not quite enough. The boat, maybe it is. Is the liquid fire still not enough? He gets healed up, and he's going to be fine. Unfortunately, Vampire is not going to be as safe. He had to throw his life onto the pyre there. Throws out the tombstone and gives them a little bit of space, but they're still going to be caught. Oh, GPK does manage to get away. He uses his BKB and now turns. He's going to be able to finish off the Centaur. Looks like that's going to be dead on dying as well. He wants to be able to finish off. He's Sumail, who has that Radiance. They're going to be able to get the duel assist. The first one duel of the game it is. Winner, winner, chicken dinner for Shotslow. And now with the buyback coming out from Gambit, they really want to make sure they wipe everybody of Quincy Crew here. They're just going to continue to kite this troll around.
Nice.
He dies bit by bit. SVG is the obvious cleanup. Great team fight for Gambit. On top of their shrine area, just could not have been a better timing of that first BKB.
Yeah, GPK's BKB timing here is actually sick. It saves them. They're able to completely turn the fight. And Sumail just gets isolated from the rest of his team. Like, he went a little bit too aggressive. I think that he was like, oh, well, this is a winnable fight. He just runs in. But by that time, like, the boat buff runs out and Ember's naturally very strong. And that move alone buys them a lot of time now. I'd like to see them take the mid tower as a result of it, but there's probably just not enough time. So what it does is it sort of just resets the position again.
That is
and it
the
gives
advantage,
Gambit like
right?
another chance.
Of like, we're talking about like, okay, you smoke, you make this move into the enemy jungle. You are smoking into a shrine. That makes it difficult. But simultaneously, you lose that fight, you didn't lose any objectives.
Yeah, you just lose gold there.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, but...
It's like a little bit of a risk, but a high reward. You win that fight, you get Roshan. You lose that fight, well, we're not going to lose map control for it.
Yeah, because everybody, hypothetically, like, because you use the shrine in the middle, the fight should be low anyways.
Yeah. Well, 10 to 10, 25 minutes in, even net worth. Are you still holding that Gambit bought themselves more time? Yes, but how much more time do they get out of that? Because this is still a top net worth troll. At what point does troll really start taking over the game?
I think he needs, like, Satanic. I think once he gets Satanic, it's really hard to kill him.
Third item troll is online.
If you don't have the lockdown for a Satanic troll, it just feels so good to play.
Yeah. All of a sudden, like, the damage aspect, right? You've got this gyro, you've got this ember, like not tons of control, but tons of burst damage. Well, Satanic is just gonna take all that out of the equation. You're gonna be too tanky to burst. You're gonna do more damage over time, or at least heal over time. And that's why Gambit need to get the lead out here. Need to find a way to take a fight on Quincy Crew's side of the map and
so
take an objective. And they're going to go smoke up to top lane where Saberlight is very aggressively pushing in.
Oh.
Blinks away.
He's got ulti.
Don't let him get out. They're going to control him for the meanwhile. They do manage to get the silence on him. He's looking to be able to finish off that ghost.
He's really
pop the
tanky.
Stampede, but they're holding on to their disables. Another round of chains. Maybe now it's going to be the Stampede pops it as the chains run out, and into the back line comes Yuar. Does Ice Path? Misses, but Vampire's still going to fall here very likely as he's got nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide.
There's a lot of zombies. He's got to reset this.
Yeah, Yuar is kind of stuck here. He does have BKB though, so they're a little bit loath to try and full and commit to him. That is a beautiful soul by now. The duel. Can they finish him up in time though? He's fighting it out, getting a little bit of life steal. He's enough to be able to win the duel. No! Disaster strikes for Gambit as Yuar is able to turn this all around off the lifesteal. GPK fully committing. Now that the troll has used his ultimate, they will be able to get that turnaround kill. But the torrent hit the Fateful and bounced into the back line and finished off the gyrocopters, who even as Gambit do win the fight in the end. Losing their gyrocopter leaves a bitter taste in their mouth.
The zombies were way too annoying for them here. The boat does manage to save it temporarily, but I mean, the BKBs, they're quite nice for Gambit right now. This is their timing where they should be stronger.
Yeah.
With such healthy BKBs, 8 seconds on their Ember. I believe that was like the fresh 10 seconds on the gyro that was just used too. This is going to help out his game quite a bit. And that's just a weird situation. Like, at that point, you instantly have to drop the tombstone. And you could see he was like, in two minds, he was like, well, we're really strong. I mean, we should be stronger. We just want a 4-on-5. And not being able to take Roshan with that smoke play has really hurt them.
What if I put it to you this way, though, to make it more convincing for Quincy Crew?
Hit it up.
They just gave the troll a mithril hammer. right? That's what that is. They gave him 1,600 gold in damage, basically, because he won a duel. Especially in a troll that attacks really fast. I'm gonna feel real sad about that. Are you checking duel damage? Yeah, they've upped duel damage over time. It's no longer like the 10, 12, 14 it used to be like
that was so
2
garbage.
years ago.
Like,
it was so
this
bad
guy just
back
got.
then.
I was like, this guy straight up got 26 damage. for winning a
26
duel?
damage.
Yikes.
You gotta be careful with that duel now. But Gambit, if they could take this mid tower, start taking more map control. GPK, man, with the Shivas.
Dude, GPK is such a beast.
He's a big old beast, man. He walked away from that team fight. Real farm does get hit by just straight up stomp as he runs into Saberlight. No. Does manage to get off the Sleight of Fist, and he should be able to jump away, but he's low on mana. It's going to be the Legion Commander that ends up going down instead of our Ember Spirit, and possibly our Undying as well. Gambit.
They need a Roche now.
They will pay for GPK's mistakes here.
Oh, man.
And Quincy crew, as you said, are going to head straight into the Roshan pit.
Shershlo was so funny there. He like walks in and he's like, oh god, I've made so many errors. He just got punted into like the 18th dimension. Watch GPK just steal this Roche. That would be a boss move.
That would be the bossest of moves. He's going to drop his bottle into his backpack. Dream's going to charge on in with the Inkswell, try and force out something out of UR. They actually just straight up get stunned. Can they finish off? He's actually very silent right now. He won't be able to get off his ultimate. He's finished up by Roshan of all things. Meanwhile, the back line, Legion Commander's dead once again. But Dream, with these low health heroes, is ready to fight if necessary. But they've all used their BKBs, and UR now having bought back.
There's no shrine either for...
They need to commit to this Roshan. They have to finish it up. But if Gambit could somehow stop this one, GPK, can he get inside? It's got one. The Roshan's down. It's on the ground. The Aegis, no. He's up by UR just in time. GPK is now being controlled up by the telekinesis. Forced to use his BKB into the back line. FNG is going to die once again. Samael and Saberlight head straight to those squishy supports. They're going to kite around this troll as best as possible. Can't overcommit because of that Aegis. It is going to be wasted here.
This tombstone positioning,
set up into the duel. They're going to be able to catch this. Jakiro's trying to finish up that damn pesky tombstone that you were talking about. Yuar's now going to try and deal with it, but it's been soul ripped up. Yuar's like, damn it all. We have to finish up the tombstone. They'll get it now with the Saberlight into the two-man stun. They're going to be able to go for the Undying, wipe him out. Go for Shotslow next. Shotslow died so many times in these team fights. He's saying, please, no, not again. But GPK managed to save him for a moment. The chains, it helps, but the torrent brings them back in. Shotslow still in trouble, but the Toro, he's been controlled up. Can they finish off here? Yuar getting on top of the gyrocopter. Dream popping his BKB, trying to finish up the troll. They do manage to win the fight. They get down the big carry, but can Dream get out? Samael keeping pace with them, laying out those flat cannon shots. He looks like MSS almost gonna die here. The big bow coming in, managed to finish off the gyrocopter. GPK out of mana, not gonna be able to go for those very, very low supports. They had the Rubik and the Centaur that were just on sliver of HPs, both in the back end, but unfortunately can't go for them, and the fight wears out finally.
And that fight looks completely different if GPK has mana. Then they can turn that.
Yeah.
But he was just kind of looking in the area, and you could see that desperation. He's like, I can't do anything about this.
Yeah. If he's able to like just dive in and finish off the Centaur and Rubik, you'd be like, all right, that was real good for Gambit. I mean, it wasn't bad as it was.
No, it was not. They immediately popped the Roche.
Did they get the Roshan kill?
No, I think Radiant got it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure anyways.
Yeah. It was just a regular grab on Aegis. So.
No stolen here.
That still kind of goes back to the problem of, shouldn't Gambit be the ones taking Roshan with their lineup? Shouldn't they be the ones like...
You think so? I don't think it's easy for them to take Roche.
It's not easy for them to take Roche, but like they shouldn't be they should be controlling the map. They should be the ones like, you know.
Yeah, I would agree, if not for the fact that like they've just outplayed Quincy Crew in like 2 different fights. It did cost them buybacks, but like that's the best part about buybacks and the way that like the meta has evolved into using them. Before it was like only ever use this if like you're being high grounded. But now it's like, oh no, just use it to straight up win team fights and like buy yourselves.
Okay. Let me put this a different way then.
What's up?
Gambit is outplaying Quincy Crew for sure.
100%. Yeah, GPK
But
sick.
isn't every subsequent team fight, isn't it just going to be harder and harder to outplay Quincy Crew?
I would
because
agree.
this troll is getting bigger?
Yeah, I mean, before the game I said that I thought that Quincy Crew shouldn't be able to lose this. I really like their lineup. But it's like a testament to how well I think Gambit is playing.
Yeah.
Like just because I think that one lineup is better doesn't mean that I think like the team is automatically better. Just trying to give you some context. Like, but I think Gambit are playing their lineup very well. Especially again GPK, like the way that he took farm this game. He always cut into mid. He never got caught. I mean, he's juked Saberlight out of his shoes like 15 times.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times I've seen the Centaur go in, try to stun GPK, like that alone has probably been the big difference maker in these team fights, if anything. But they've got this Arcane Rune, Ember Spirit. There's no Aegis, there's no cheese or anything like that. So this is a straight up 5-on-5. I think Gambit with their Ember Spirit being as strong as he is. Oh, that's a Hex?
That's a Scythe of Vice?
Word.
Holy crap, FNG. Well, they're going to be able to run down SVG quite easily. Shout out to the G captains, by the way. Ether Lens plus Scythe plus the cast range talent. That is very scary when you get this on a Grimstroke. That is some long range initiation.
That is, oh boy.
I mean, for me, that item pickup does change things.
That changes things quite. I actually did not realize he was. He just casually. I was like, wait a second.
That's a late game winner right there. The double Scythe combo from like a billion distance.
Yeah. It's like you've got like a useful Tinker.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Bro, did you see Whisper's Tinker earlier today?
Didn't it lose?
Yeah, but that wasn't on Whisper.
You could tell he was
Whisper
like
tried
when
to
he
carry
bought
that
that
game so
when they were
hard.
still able to win. I could tell he was mad.
He was
like,
real
oh, he
mad. 35-minute bounty runes coming up. They do manage to get the Centaur initiation on the Vampire. Vampire maybe burst it down here, but it comes at a cost with the lasso being controlling up both these.
God, this Tombstone.
They cannot deal with the Tombstone very easily, but at the same time, Gambit just cannot issue out the damage that they need to be able to burst down one of these cores. Saberlight's going to reinitiate onto this one. Buyback immediately coming out, but it looks like FNG, he's going to fall here. Traded out for the Centaur. Oh, a bash. First hit comes out for Yuar, followed up by a second hit in Snare, forcing out Dreams BKB. Yuar happy with this one, continues to chase off his ultimate, though. He has been forced far too deep from the battle trance. Just a little trigger happy with that one, and gets Quincy crew into just an awkward position for a team fight.
Oh, I really feel like Saberlight's going way too ham in this game. I don't know if somebody's telling him just like go in, but it makes it awkward because at that point it's impossible to like uncommit yourself from that fight. So you see,
I mean, also Yuar, I don't know about that.
Once Yuar popped his ulti, he was like, all right.
Yeah.
He was trying to burst Dream.
Yeah,
but
I think he got like a little too happy about the second hit in Snare, and he was like, oh, I got him.
It's like, dude, he has BKB too. Relax.
Yeah,
calm down.
Chill.
They're sort of playing themselves into like this weird position. I can hear, I feel like I can hear Samil. He's like, go back, you idiots. This is exactly what they want. Because
this is why I left this team.
Oh, dude, I didn't even go there.
Full out Mjolnir now for the gyrocopter. And dual initiation. Bye-bye SVG. Hello, dual damage.
Yo, pick on someone your own size, Shachlo. Like, come on.
Shachlo finally breaking over 100 dual damage for himself.
He was like, I am not winning fights against this troll. But this Jakiro.
And at this point, like, do you need the dual damage? You don't care about that. What you really care about is level 25.
Yeah. The 350 AoE press the attack is so sick. How much damage would you need to be given bonus for that to be useful to you?
I think it's literally, it doesn't, I think the damage bonus almost doesn't matter.
Really?
I think it entirely matters on what kind of game you're having as Legion Commander. Like, if it's 150 damage, but you lose every duel, then, like, isn't it a bad talent?
Is it, though?
Meanwhile, if cleansing off your real carries is good, it'll always be good, you know? If you're owning the game single-handedly as a Legion Commander and winning duels like this...
What a jump.
What a jump. Shachlo finds it again.
Yo, the double
hex!
hex!
Be able to get the double hex with the gyrocopter. Dream pounces immediately, trying to finish off Saberlight. Well, this hero will easily fall to just the flat cannon shots, but Saberlight's just too tanky. Once again, they get fooled into thinking they can finish off this offlaner. GPK actually using his BKB to make sure he gets out. That is another buyback being used. Even if it is the 5 position, it's something.
The double buyback.
Double buyback.
Yeah, it was double buyback.
Both supports.
They thought this was going to be a bigger fight. I mean, it feels like they just don't have an easy way to kill this Ember, and that's making the fight so hard. Like Ember's able to play so aggressively, and the Tombstone is proving to be way too annoying. Like Vampire just runs in, he plops that thing down, and he's like, do something.
Can I just say, like, what if we replace this Yule's mech and we went the FNG route of just go straight for
up
the
Hex?
side? Like, you need more disable for this
You
Ember
do need to
Spirit.
pressure this Ember. You need to make it so that he doesn't feel like he can just jump in no problem.
Yeah, he's doing that without a Lincoln's.
Yeah.
He feels very little threat. Level 25 talent almost here for Dream and Shochlo, both of them being 24. We already have 25 on GBK. On who's close on Radiant side? Nobody really. 2 level 23s. Samael's getting kind of close to 24, but maybe one big team fight. Smoke up, but at the same time, a successful scan from Gambit. They know they're around this Roshan pit. The question is, are they going to get there fast enough? Are they going to... Yeah, there it is. Okay, GPK is like, yeah, I can do... Oh, no, the telekinesis into the Stampede, into the turret as well. Completely controlled up, but there is going to be a buyback. They're going to wait for Quincy crew to overcommit, potentially be able to snag this Aegis away from them, but they're going to have to buy it out soon with the double sight device. This the time here comes GPK. Needs to be able to dive into the big crowd.
The snatch!
Snatches it away. Yawar doesn't manage to grab it, and Yawar now to force a fight out. Does manage to use the battle trance, chasing away Dream, but that's just going to be the first Aegis. He did grab the cheese onto Yawar, so he's going to be able to use that one. Excess Vampire is going to be dying on the side. The duel. Oh, shots Lofana. Beautiful initiation onto Yawar. No opportunity to use that cheese here, sir. Centaur following out. Next is going to be the chains on SVG. Another pickup for
Vampire,
Gambit.
run! You're dying!
No! Oh, Samael! He's going to get caught eventually here, and he will die. SVG was also unable to TP away there, but an unfortunate death here for GPK, but a beautiful buyback that wins the fight for Gambit off the back of just a beautiful initiation from FNG.
Yeah, and Shochlo finding the free duel. He's really turned it on, finding his footing here in this game. He's got the 350 AoE press the attack, which is your own form of troll ulti, some might say.
Yes? Yes.
Here we go, troll ulti them.
Dude, the fact that it applies to creeps too, I think
yeah.
it's just crazy. Because then it just means siege wagons bomb down buildings. Unfortunately, the glyph stopped a lot of that damage, pulling back into the boat. Trying to force out any kind of reaction right now with the torrent into the second boat as well. They are going to be able to get the press the attack. Dream holding strong on his BKB, not popping it early here, because as soon as he does, they have to back away from this push. They'll be able to get one lane, back it up. Quincy crew holding on to their buybacks, because obviously that's more important than a lane of barracks at 40 minutes.
Jeez, Gambit is sick though.
Yeah, they are playing this.
Like, I think lineup-wise,
nicely.
I would have given it like a 65-35, and we were seeing that for some time, but like, just the sheer amount of outplays that they've gotten,
Yeah.
so nice.
The impact of FNG with this scythe device has been massive.
It was so funny when he first used it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
We both just looked at each other like, oh, okay.
Just the double check of like, that was FNG
That
who
was a
used the
hex.
scythe, right? That wasn't a gyrocopter scythe device or something, right?
JJ's are ups, right?
Yeah.
He just doesn't, he just didn't click him ever.
Oh, jeez. You just throw JJ under the bus, huh?
Is under attack.
What, you think just because you're a coach now, you don't gotta treat your cameraman nice? Is that it?
No, I was saying like he was building up, what is the word for it? Like, he was building up like drama. You know, he like never.
the grand
suspense.
unveiling. I see what you mean now.
Yeah, he's like, oh, and he's got it.
Smoke up, Quincy crew. Trying to catch Gambit unawares, but FNG knows all. Perfect place to break a smoke. Still gets out thanks to his force staff that he just picked up.
This feels like a bit of a desperation smoke for me on the side of Quincy crew.
Yeah.
It's like when you don't know how you want to start fights anymore, you're gonna smoke. Like, that's when you know that you're real behind. Because normally like smokes are supposed to have like they're like well thought out moves. You're like, oh, I think we're going to be in this direction. This is supposed to like catch people off surprise and like hope that you can get like an instant blink stun from Saberlight to like get something going.
But when you just kind of blind smoke to
Yeah,
the
just
only
to-
vision you have on the other side of the map that isn't showing a core.
Yeah,
You're just like,
exactly.
I hope a core ends up being there when we arrive. Lincoln's now for our Ember Spirit finally. So no more worries about the telekinesis. This is still a game that can swing back into the favor, well, of really anybody at this point, because there is no buyback on the Ember Spirit. There is no buyback on Sumail's Kunkka, nor is there buyback on the Yawar Troll either. And that's only due to gold. Not something that Gambit may be aware of.
The wrap around. The positioning of the tombstone is going to be important here. The call down's laid out. They're looking for some sort of team fight.
Oh,
as the
Saberlight
stun.
misses initiation. Dream does not get hit by that one whatsoever.
The double
Maybe
hex.
the soul bite into the side, into the blowing up. You are no cheese again, and no buyback either. Is now Saberlight. He's gonna be quick to fall. Dream is taking full advantage of a fully stunned Centaur. Sumail. He's trying to get out of here as the last core alive. Looks to swing a big Tidebringer hit that does nothing. A successful duel, and that is looking like the end of the game. Gambit thoroughly outplaying Quincy crew to end this game in style, wiping. With no buybacks left, that is going to be GG for game one. Well done by Gambit.
Dude, Gambit's sick. All props in the world to them, and you can see like they're hyped off that win. They knew
Yeah.
they thoroughly outplayed them there.